Welcome to another episode of Voicewhat presents Self-Reliant India Brands and Leaders in association with Republic TV News Channel. My name is Zain, and through this show we take you to the stories of inspiring Indian brands that are stirring up the nation into building a strong and self-reliant superpower. In our story that we will be covering today is that of the Vinculum Group, a retail SaaS omni-channel software company. It is changing the pace of e-commerce and is helping brands to scale faster and also penetrate into global market. Let's delve into the story. By providing modular SaaS products, Vinculum Group helps brands sell across channels. It enables them to sell online through web stores, multiple marketplaces, enables omni-channel, and direct-to-customer experience for brands to reach customers, set up own marketplaces, and scale in international markets.
I'm Anaji Nath, a co-founder at Vinculum Group with operations in Singapore, Hong Kong, Indonesia, India, and I'm based in the US, managing the US operations. We enable brands to grow faster, and we were growing at a very rapid clip when the pandemic hit. And at that point, we had to quickly make adjustments in the way we operated, making adjustments to how we sold, how we supported our customers, how we implemented our software. And these adjustments took a little bit of time in the first quarter of 2020. But once we said that, all these adjustments we'd made has helped us significantly in managing everything almost exclusively remotely.
Vinculum Group has a proud portfolio of over 1,000 brands globally, namely ITC, Jockey, Bata, Skechers, Nykaa, Dairy Farm, Swiggy, amongst others. With 150 plus ready integrations, the company processes over 20 million orders per month and has made its mark in over 30 countries across the globe. To dive deeper into the company's story, we have with us a very special guest, Mr. Venkat Nath, the founder and CEO of Vinculum Group. He also handles the corporate strategy, global sales, investor relation and fundraising. A very warm welcome on our show, sir.
Thank you for having me here. Good to speak to you, Nayan.
What is this whole story about the name Vinculum?
Now, Vinculum as a name is very special because there are multiple meanings to it. One is it means long-term relationships, which is the fundamental ethos of the company. Secondly, Vinculum also is the bunch of algebraic parentheses. Means we learned things like square roots and recurring decimals as kids in school. Now, we just wanted to say we understand the science behind e-commerce and omni-channel. So we wanted something mathematical there. So Vinculum fits that as well. And also it's the name of a ship in Star Trek. And one of the founders was a buff of Star Trek, so that also fitted nicely. So we just found a name which was a little different.
And I think it totally is. In fact, now I would like to ask you and know what are the core values of the Vinculum Group?
There are 4 primary values that we look at. One is empathy. When we talk of empathy, we are talking of empathy towards both internal teams and to customers. So what we look for is for every part of the organization to be to think of customers as their own business and do what is right for the customer. The second is in terms of dealing with internal employees as well. So you treat them as you would treat yourself.
Okay.
And make sure that whatever is the right method or the right experience that you would want to create for yourself, you're creating for every aspect of the organization. So this is one value. The second value is with respect to crisp communication, which means you are always being clear and predictable and transparent in your communication, right? And this means, of course, that you have to be very good in how you speak and how you write. So it's not an easy goal that one has taken up as a value. But that's a journey, and we are trying to make sure every part of the organization can give clear updates, clear, predictable information to whoever requires the information, right? So, and there is a lot of effort which goes on internally to train up people to know both the company's strategy and also the products. We actually have a cloud-based application called Cloud Learn, through which every employee is aware of what we are attempting in the next 3 years to 5 years. And they know exactly what the strategy is. And everybody is trained up on all the products that we have and modules that we have, the kind of use cases and problems we are solving. So we actually cover each one of these in detail for every employee. Okay, so which means it's a slightly different from what people think about startups in terms of saying that we keep things hidden. No, this is completely open out there, saying what we are trying to achieve. That hopefully brings alignment. So this is the second value. The third value is about customer delight. So which essentially means we want to ensure the customer is always put first in whatever we do. Again, it's a journey. It doesn't mean we can do everything perfectly, but what it means is that that's at the center of how we make decisions. Whether it's the product roadmap, whether it is the engineering priorities, whether it is the way sales teams are structured, whether it is the way customer support looks at issues. So everything has customer at the center of the universe, and from there all decisions happen, right? So the fourth value is about ownership. Again, it is a journey, but culturally what we are promoting and what we are attempting is that everybody is a single point from where ownership and decision making happens. And what that means is at every aspect and every part of the organization, we are in a position to make the right decisions and own the problem. So those are the four primary values. And of course, there is a lot of sub values which actually come and enable the primary values.
Honestly, it's so refreshing to hear something like that. I think it's great, the values that you as a company share. That also wants me to ask you this question about the SaaS business model that the company has been applying for such a long time. Can you break that down for our viewers, and also can you explain what this terminology SaaS means?
So it's a very important area really. And I'll actually talk a little bit on SaaS itself. So software as a service is the expansion. We are doing calls on Zoom, for example, right? Now, the interesting thing about Zoom is Zoom is a platform which is created once. And you, me, and everybody accesses Zoom and is able to utilize it. So it is not that I need to set up software in each location, right? And I don't need to support individually in every location. It is something which is already available. It's almost like a hire purchase where the product is there and you're using it as a user, right? And how long does it take for you to get online into a geo platform, or it's seconds, right? So right. That's the beauty of SaaS. So the historical way of software is a license model where you have to install a software in your server, right, and you have to support it, implement it in a long cycle. All of that is a little bit of a history, I would say. Means all businesses are moving towards SaaS software. And the interesting aspect here is from an India perspective, right? I would say in the last year, we have had 6 unicorns who are SaaS companies. Unicorns which are $1 billion plus in valuation, right? And there are different types of SaaS businesses, okay? While I talk a little bit about the types of software business, one is the Zoom style of software. The other one would be infrastructure, okay? Means where you have something like an AWS, where you have the infrastructure set up. Somebody like us who build B2B software, what we do is to enable brands to sell across online, offline, and social channels and easily fulfill the online orders or the social orders or the offline orders through a central repository, and we can fulfill it from inventory lying anywhere, whether it is your own warehouse or a store or a third-party logistics warehouse. But when I set up the infrastructure, I don't need to buy servers. I don't need to do all the difficult setup of infrastructure myself, because this has to be very secure. And instead, I'll just go to an AWS who is already set up and just buy storage and space. So, and that basically means AWS is also a SaaS company in a different way. It is, basically it's a platform which is available for me to use. I think India as a country potentially could become a very major player in the globe, potentially having 10% market share of all SaaS companies globally. Potential or possibility of unicorns coming from India is very, very true and very large. It potentially, the space is going to be about, maybe 500 billion worth of revenue in the next 3 years, maybe, or 4 years. And I would say India will have 10% of that business, which they could potentially acquire. So which means you are going to see many unicorns, and you're going to see many companies solving every aspect of business, whether it's B2C or B2B, in terms of becoming very significant players globally. It will also create a lot of jobs. So if you look at somebody like us, we have a potential to be one as well. And so that's where, interestingly, it's a, I would say in the new age of software, this will be more, there will be roles both for younger graduates and for experienced people. But the critical piece is going to be how good you are and how quickly you're able to learn, because it's a very fast-paced industry.
At the onset, Mr. Venkat, could you predict this level of e-commerce growth? And also, what are some of these key consumer trends that you've seen in the recent years, and how do you use this knowledge to help solve, the host of challenges that probably come your way?
Yeah, we took some time to get here, but we have a fantastic product market fit today and an opportunity to go global. I would say, obviously in hindsight, anything is easy, but we were trying to get here. So COVID only accelerated it a bit. I would say we knew that this was a hot opportunity, but COVID is definitely the equivalent to software. I would say similar to what demonetization did to digital payments. So you see, look, you and I, each of us are not really going to the shops to get whatever we want, right? So the online revenues have definitely gone through the roof. And I would say brands overall who have been nimble and who have been smart have been able to take advantage of this. Today, there's no more question, Nayan, about whether people want to be digital. They have to be. They don't have a choice. And customers, of course, decide where they want to shop. You want to be present wherever they're shopping. Okay. So essentially, if you look at in a nutshell where it is, we are enabling that. Okay. And but this doesn't mean offline is going away, but you got to be very clear that offline is a channel. And you want to be very savvy about how do you go into the different channels and position yourself to get a piece of the opportunity. And
this is a new era, after all.
It is. And I think this habit is a permanent shift. It is not as if people will go back completely to how life was before COVID. Then that life is possibly one for the movies now. But then, online, I would say, will be brands will target 30 to 40% of their revenues online forever. And offline will be an important channel, but people need to give a cross experience. Means I could buy online and pick it up from the store, or I could just be shopping in the store and not find what I want. The salesperson can still completely close the sale and make sure whatever product is required is available. And a lot of niche, interesting business models are coming up. Means I can talk a little bit about that. Even traditional brands are going completely direct to consumer.
Revamping themselves.
What that means is, if I take a big brand like any FMCG player, let's say an ITC, a Unilever, a Procter & Gamble, every one of them, they today are looking at how do I fulfill online orders from the nearest distributor and make it available direct to the residences rather than sending it to their store. Okay, so which means if you can technically enable that, every brand in FMCG needs the solutions like that. And this could be the whole lot of beauty products, fashion products. It could be your everyday use products like shirts, ties, belts, bags, shoes, everything. Means all of them will go D2C. And also, there's a whole host of D2C brands who have come up. So people, means people are saying, why can't I be a Louis Vuitton? Means even as a startup, right? Means why can't I target to be one very, very quickly instead of waiting for 50 years, right? And, means today, some of our fellow entrepreneurs are creating brands from India, which are all having global aspirations.
We'll be right back from a short break as we continue our journey on the Vinculum Group. Stay tuned, we'll be back. Welcome back. You're watching Voicewhat presents Self-Reliant India, Brands and Leaders. We're still in conversation with the CEO and founder of Vinculum Group, Mr. Venkat Naut. So how is the Vinculum Group providing cost-effective integrations for startups to scale?
See, the whole SaaS business, right? The pricing model is typically on a monthly fee-based model. So, and the key metric for us is the number of orders. Okay, so which means as number of orders go through the platform, based on the actual number of orders is what we charge. So given that scenario, people, if they do well, they'll pay more. If they do less, they're paying less. So that fits in very nicely with scale as you grow. And as far as integrations are concerned, it's something which we do for making sure it's a complete service. So we invest in getting the integrations ready and we see it as part of the product. So that makes it very, very clear that people are, they can scale as they grow.
I was also thinking, Venkat, that the whole landscape of software technology is, always changing. So how does the company learn, unlearn, and kind of innovate during these changing times?
It's actually an amazing question because, before COVID, one thing I would say is everybody used to work from the office. Today, we are all working from home. It's 15 months and people are adapting quite nicely. And it's about making sure that we are able to clearly articulate our plans and empowering the teams to be able to do the right thing in terms of being able to research, being able to come up understand the trends and come up with what requires to go on to the roadmap from a product or an engineering perspective, and also looking at the modern tools to be able to deliver software which is cutting edge and which utilizes deep tech to give real insights. But these aspects of it, one would have thought was difficult to do remote. I would say the industry will move to a hybrid model where people will continue to work from home, maybe at least 40 to 50%. So you might see more spacious offices, which is good for making sure that one, it is safe, and B, it is more conducive for creative thinking. And you might see interaction, collaboration, using multiple tools and making sure that people are able to do things in a way which where they adapt. I think all of these are going to be par for course. So from our side, what we have really made sure is to make sure that people are very comfortable, very, we engage with employees even if they are working from home. There are various things which we do to enable that. And the rest of it is auto mode, really means there is nothing completely different in terms of how we are working. But what is important though is, which I think I should mention, is across the portfolio of our investors, IVCap and a little bit of Axle companies too, we actually helped employees and their families get vaccinated across Bombay, Delhi, and Bangalore. So that actually also is a step to make sure people are happy, comfortable, safe. Okay, so the support staff and the employees. So these are some steps which we have taken in terms of coverage for families, insurance policies for post-COVID affected people, etc. These are all things which we did. So one side, you're making people comfortable. On the other side, you're making flexi policies for people to be able to work the way they want. And C is make all tools available to collaborate better, so that it promotes creative thinking and collaborative way of working. So the rest of it, we know what is to be done and track the trends and make sure that the products are cutting edge.
So Mr. Venkat, this brings me to almost my last question to you. How do you think is the company contributing to the Make in India that we are promoting as we speak? And how are you helping these brands grow? And also, what is your vision for the next few years? How do you see the company growing?
We are an Indian company. We have made our software in India, and we are hopefully through the scale and growth that we achieve, will help spring up multiple entrepreneurs from our team. That's one aspect of it. The second aspect of it is from a brand's perspective, like what I explained, we have created a platform and a distribution network to help Indian brands go anywhere in the world. Of course, the opportunity is global, helping brands from anywhere go global. But if I look at it from a Make in India perspective, there are many brands out there who are more domestic today. But we have essentially democratized the whole process by making all the sales channels globally available to these brands and making it easy for them to be present on these channels, and also creating the distribution network to be able to go and scale into any country of their choice. And as the models evolve, what that tells you is we are essentially creating the opportunity for brands to scale internationally. Of course, you still have to be a good brand. You still have to have great quality. We still have to understand and study which markets are good for you, what price points, etc. But there is a intelligence being built in the team along with the platform and the distribution network. So that's the second part of the question. The third part of the question is, I think Vinculum as a platform and what we are doing, there's a fascinating opportunity, a great product market fit. We are adding customers literally by the droves, and we have a situation where whatever money we spend to acquire